We don't want to do that again. All right, good morning, my dogs. It is 6:31. It is December 23rd. Wow, it's Monday. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and then we have Hanukkah and Christmas on Wednesday, if you celebrate either one. And then I think Kwanzaa is somewhere around there, too. So what does that mean to me? It means that if you're here and you're not on vacation, if you're not at the beaches, you're not in the mountains, do not do stupid things and lose money. Do not push the envelope. Do not put yourself in harm's way, because the worst thing you could do is lose money for no reason, and just not feel good on a week where you should be spending time with your friends and your family and enjoying yourself. So for me, I'm the red dog. I got to be here. I got to write my note. I got to perform on the alpha team. I got to guide through. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, how many times have I thought to myself, damn, I could have been in Hawaii. I could have been, away on vacation and spending $25,000 instead of losing $25,000 sitting on my desk forcing trades. So what's the moral of the story? Don't do that if you're here. Listen, there might be some good things to do. If Friday we caught a nice little reversal. We came in Friday morning. I was pretty tactical because what happened on Wednesday post-Fed, market got beat up. The SPYs lost its upper range. I got stopped out of a lot of positions, and I said, hey, I want some market discovery. And by the time Friday morning, we were down 40, 50 handles. We had a light PCE. If you sold higher when we broke higher, you had the opportunity to test lower. That's the ability of a trader, and wound up being a really good day. So I did wind up taking some positions thinking, hey, maybe we can get some upside follow through. Maybe Friday's low is the low of this week. And I also think the pre-Fed, high is probably the high, but again, so, you come in, this is the alpha team. This is what I have. I didn't all of a sudden get everything back on, but I did, Nvidia was strong. That reclaimed the prior low. I bought Tesla on Friday, also made some good money. It came back. It had a little sell imbalance at the end of the day. So I actually bought more into the close. I just trimmed some, so you could see I actually trimmed some here. I was overnight. And now we're going to see. Why am I short Apple? Because Apple had a buy imbalance. It's up 37 cents, not a big deal. When you have all these the whole imbalance game. I'm not going to get into that. But over the course of the last year or two, when Buffett was actually buying all the Apple he could on the rebalanced trades, funds would own too much Apple. There would always be a sell imbalance at the end of the day, and would be buying it on the close. So Tesla, the reason why he came in a lot was because everyone's been buying Tesla with us pre-election, post-election, and took shares out of the float. So funds that are supposed to be balanced to the S&P with Tesla, they had too much. So that's what caused the sell imbalance. And now Tesla's up $10, and I trimmed a little bit because I had more than I really wanted to. But anyway, these are just some thoughts. Listen, I've been doing this for 30 years. That's why you tune into the 630 Club, because you understand I'm a trusted voice that has been doing it, and I have all of your best interest at heart. At this point, it's cold out there. I've already been up since 4:45 in the morning. I already did my 20 at 5:20, my 20 minutes of mobility work, and the mind right, thinking about what I got to do today, which we will be doing with you in 2025. And here we go. Let's take. Oh, I actually didn't even show you the VTF here. So here's the VTF. Let's see if it shows. Oh, I gotta present here. I gotta go like this. Boom, boom. So let's see. There's the screen. Yeah. So anyway, sorry, I wasn't showing you guys the screen. Where these are my guys talking about what's out there this morning. What's the news out there? So they're not on vacation either. This is what I said before. Here's your Tesla. I trimmed a little bit this morning. Not so bad. Up 10 points. Good way to start the day. Besides a few other things, SPYs are down a little bit. Nvidia's flattish. A lot of little things going on. Anyway, with that being said, what I say before: do not put yourself in harm's way. Do not overtrade. Do some small things. Try and create some cash for a little bit. Don't put yourself in a bad mood going into the holiday. It's been too long of a year, and people had too much success. So if you look here real quickly at the SPYs, what do I mean by taking some pressure off? Well, we broke 602 right here. That was the 8th day. That was Fed day. So if you had a bunch of positions on, this was your spot to get out. Maybe have less positions, less size, get short. Yes, you can get short, maybe buy puts. And then obviously the size move was really, big. And then what happened was, on the bounce back, it was very feeble. Remember, I'm like, we could see 591, 593, 595, and nothing, the bounce back was so weak that it gave sellers some conviction for Friday morning. And Friday morning early, we were down a bunch. and then we reclaimed this 585. It went all the way up to 595.75, and now the question is, what do we do this week? So I put in. So I was sitting in the sauna today, thinking about all the different things that could happen. Right now, the SPYs were up $1.50. Now they're down 59 cents. So there's still a little volatility. Someone's like, Red Dog, do you think this 580 is the low of this week? Are we gonna have to worry about just volatility heading into the last week? I don't know. I would think there's a better than average chance that this low would be the low for this week. And I would also say there's a better than average chance that this might even be the high, but I would say I would be very, very confident to say it doesn't get back above this spot if they wanted to push us into the end of the year. And then you have a lot of things in the middle. For today, you have 593, 595.75. Now, with the SPYs off a little bit, you have 585, and then we're below that. So you got to like kind of compartmentalize and see where you want to be. Qs reclaimed the prior low, reclaimed 513. This is your new point of reference, pushed up to 524. So this is resistance one. This is bigger resistance, and then you see if you can get above that. The small caps were the most oversold, and so was the Dow. We had a great trade in the Dow on Friday. The IWM still is nowhere, but now if you just think about it also, if you sold when it broke here or you sold when it broke there, you had the luxury of buying it down, and it was a quick and fast money trade on Friday. A lot of people made good money buying the IWM, and then what did it do? It just went back to the 100-day. So if I were to say, hey, if you want to put resistance 1, 2, 3 on where these could bounce, if they bounce more, you have 224, 227, and then here's your brick wall. So if you map it out, where maybe you could be a buyer to, where it might pause at the first kiss, and where you might want to short. So that's how you want to structure, your day, the next few days. And we'll see if today is just a reversal of the reversal, maybe that was it. So who knows? Right now the IWM is down 72 cents, and we're at 221. So what you could do is you go to your day chart, so instead of your daily chart, you go back to here and say, hey, where was there a lot of support? So what I do is I look back. I'm like, okay, well, this was kind of a decent amount of support that if the IWM was any good, it shouldn't really get below 220. So maybe it wants to go from red to green and have some continuation with some of the reversal strength from Friday or not. But again, you're not going to overtrade because it's a holiday week. You want to have fun, and you want to be nice, and you want to feel good. So anyway, let me see what my dogs are saying. Jamie Londono says, good morning. Good morning. What's up, Vincent? Happy Hanukkah. Same thing to you. You've been grinched. Yeah, we were up earlier this morning. Can I look at Uber? Of course I can. It feels like everyone always wants to buy Uber. It was a good stock this year. But again, it kind of got into a corrective phase when Tesla got better. Rum. Yes, I am in rum. I have options in rum. By the way, I've been talking about rum, ever since here. Ever since those options were lighting up like a Christmas tree. I'm like, and the CEO said he was going to start getting stock friendly. We had a big move up. And then I did get stopped out of some here because of what happened on Fed Day, but I kept my options. That's why sometimes I keep options on, because I'm like, I have it on for a reason. And I still have the Rumble $7 calls on. You could have bought a little bit after hours too. It happened so fast. You could have probably bought 9.25. Where's rum now? Rum is before I looked at it was to 10.50. So that's a nice play. So a lot of people in my community are probably making some good money, but there are some that went to zero. So I'm not like saying, oh, I'm in all these great options, but I got stopped out of the stock after a really nice run. And then because I got a little more tactical, I didn't stick with the stock. Instead, I have options on, which are going to help the day. So anyway, this morning the ice barrel was solid, my friends. For those who are going to be following me along early in the morning in the, when we start getting into that situation, I couldn't crack it, and I didn't have enough time. I needed to get here. So I stood outside, took my breaths, and took in the cold 12-degree air. My feet were barefoot, and that was my way of, changing up the morning, in a way that I had to. So that's what we have to do, right? Sometimes you're in a race, you have race performance, it doesn't go your way, and then it turns into race management. Same way you have, morning performance that turned into morning management. Yeah, Reddit looks good. Reddit bounced back fast. So did Palantir. So these are still leaders. Like this, broke this ascending channel, repaired real fast. some people like Red Dog, it's so choppy that I don't like your 8 and 21 day rule. I'm like, why? Because sometimes I get out when it breaks the 8 and 21 day, and then I get back a day or two later. I'm like, okay, but wouldn't you rather get out when it breaks the 8 and 21 day and then be out just in case it goes to the 50, 100, and 200 day? I'm like, for instance, look at the spies. If you got out when it broke the 8 and 21 day on Fed day right here, you did not sit into what would have been a very frustrating and stressful Friday. Instead, you got out here, and then you traded, and then we're maybe able to buy back after market discovery. Some things break the 821 day and reclaim them fast, and hey, get chopped up. Sometimes they break them, and the trend changes, and you're out of the way, and you don't hold your nose and go underwater. So the 821 day to me is a very, very useful momentum trend. But Reddit, you're right. Reddit rebuilt fast, and at some point probably takes out this 181 and continues. This has been a great go-to name. What's Reddit doing this morning? Reddit is up $1.27. So if you bought some into the dip, if you got out here, you still were able to buy it a little bit lower, and now you could be long Reddit versus 157. It looks pretty good. Palantir also, look how fast that reclaimed. It was very, very choppy, and then all of a sudden, boom, held above the low from Wednesday. So this was Wednesday's low, higher inside day Thursday, higher low. So what is that telling you? Relative strength, probably a good position to get back into. So Reddit and Palantir look great, but then Dash is taking its time because these were like the three amigos, but not so bad. If you got out here at 173-ish, you're able to buy back when this made a higher low. So if you look here, the SPYs, made a lower low, Dash held above it and gave you a decent bounce. So what now? I think there's a little bit more room here. I still think this is going to rebuild. I still think this is going to have a great 2025. But you have to be tactical. So what's Dash doing today? I would assume it's up a little bit. All right, it's down 50 cents, but it's loose and wide. There's no volume here. But again, breaks the 8-21 day, which was really closer to 175 and 173. Then you're stress free. You could take a step back and you can look to do it after market discovery, where it came down to 164. This went to you could have been buying at 165-ish after selling it at 173. You're still saving $8. Anyway, what's Muncie asked me to do, Scott? All right, Uber. I feel like Uber's turning into like what everybody says, can take a look at Baba for me, but it's trying to stabilize down here. What could you have seen here? This had a pretty bad breakout failure. Looked great, then broke below this, which was distribution, and then since then it's been rejected to moving averages the entire way down. Can you be long versus this spot? Yeah, it's fine. I still think Uber, obviously, robo-taxis are real far away, and this and that. I'm not going to get into like their narrative around, but here's 59.33. Sometimes these lower pivots break to the upside. So if it's going to do that, it's got to get above and stay above the 8 day, but then it's still, you have resistance here, you have resistance there. It's different. It's a different name than it was when it, the last trend to the highs, but it looks okay. So if that's cool, if that's what you want to, focus on. I'm still focused on Tesla. If you look at Tesla is still, it gave you a way to sell it on Fed day, which was right here. Red dog reversal sell at 484, went to 488. Then you had an inside day, and then it's still above. It's playing with the 8 day above the 21 day. It did have a sell imbalance, so it was worthy of focusing on. I made great day trading money here because, again, it's at the top of my go-to list. I could see when there's relative strength intraday. I could see when the futures move lower. It holds in there. I could add to it and trade around it. That's why I like this stock, because it really trades, in ways where you could get some clues. So bottom line is Tesla's up 10. This is down 70 cents. Nice relative strength. I've trimmed some, and then we'll see if it holds up. If it doesn't hold up and breaks 417, all right, then you got the 21 day. If it holds up and goes inside, and the market wants to go green and hang in there for the week, maybe there'll be a trade above this spot. But I have a feeling it's going to have a little bit of inside action. So Tesla, to me, is a little bit different than when it held 348 and took out 361 and gave you a huge move up, which we did sell 510 calls and 530 calls. We kind of like threaded that needle pretty well. What's up, Bobby 4.0? What's up, Nebraska? again, if you're around this morning, make sure you're just doing your thing and you're not overdoing it. If you're up money, make some money and feel good. It's the last week of the year. You're not going to make your year in the last week. If anything, there could be some things to do. There could be some opportunities at your desk, but make sure again you're not overdoing it. At this point, we're playing kind of defense here, which is great. The S&P was up 28, 29% of the year. We pulled in 3.5% off the highs, rallied Friday. It could be, not a whole lot of much. So you want to make sure that you're not doing too much here. Apple was really strong, but again, Apple had a very big buy imbalance, into the close. That's the only reason why I faded it. I'm actually probably going to just cover it because I hate being short Apple, and Apple is what? It's up a quarter. So it was worthy of a try. So my trade on the close was buy Tesla because of the sell imbalance and short Apple. So not so bad. I'm up 10 points in Tesla, only down 20 cents in Apple. Not a bad long short portfolio there, even though I don't do that. I can't believe the funds that have to do that. Like, the long short funds that have a few $1 billion and they have to be exactly long and short at the same time. That means you have to be right on the longs and right on the shorts. At least as a professional trader, I'm directional. Like if stocks are going up, I want to be in stocks. If stocks are choppy, I want to be a little less. If stocks are going down, I want to be out. I want to be short, versus having to pick out what to be long, what to be short at the exact same time. SOUN, what a move that thing happened. That thing was friggin' nuts. And look at the way it rebuilt, on Friday. So this is still acting really well. We were focused on it down here. If you sold into the loose and wide action was extended, maybe you bought some back. And what's it doing today? I don't know. It's up 20 cents. Probably needs time to rebuild. Some of these things rebuilt really fast. By the way, any of you guys in BlackBerry with me? That was awesome. BlackBerry was one of my January effect names that wound up working out really well. I still have some options on. This did not pull in at all that Wednesday. I am still in Lucid. Lucid still looks good. Lucid made a higher high while the markets were repairing, so that helped. So not everything got just, thrown out when the market had its big down day. Sometimes things go down less, and then when you bounce, they show you that you could be with them more than something else. And Lucid and BlackBerry were awesome, and Rumble wasn't so bad either. Now, as far as Bitcoin, I actually was flat Bitcoin for the first time since the turkey trot. You guys know when I started the turkey trot. I started the turkey trot here on this day, like October 11th, and I trimmed into strength, and I had small here. And when it broke 58.62, I'm like, I'm out of IBIT for now, actively for a living. Like if you buy, Bitcoin every single month for the next 10 years and you think it's going to 250, great. If you trade it actively and you want to get paid in December off it, it's not a bad sell considering you could have been a buyer Friday morning a lot lower. And I am in some, and it's down a little bit, right? What's IBIT doing? Down 30 cents, not a big deal. So what do you have? You have a new point of reference, right? What do I mean by new point of reference? Well, you had your not really false breakout, but a little bit of an overthrow. Then it broke this ascending channel. So now the question is, does it stay below this and then continue down to the 50-day? Well, if it's going to go down to the 50-day, what does it have to do? It's got to get below and stay below 53.93. So as of right now, it's not. So I am long small Bitcoin, and I'll see if I could buy a little bit more. Some guys did really well with Mr. As I said, they sold strength every time here, 3 times, selling strength, and finally, you could have bought a red dog reversal when it reclaimed 323, and it did it fast. Then it showed some power by getting above 338, and now we'll see what the story is here. Is it down a little bit with Bitcoin? Let's see. Mr. Down 6. So this is something that might be able to be a red to green trade today for cash flow. I'm going to look at it. What do I mean? Well, first of all, this is down 30 cents. This is down 6. Here's Mr. This was it was at 350 at 330, and now it's at 357. So I would think if this is going to give you a way to buy it, pretty good support from 330. It came off the lows, had a buy imbalance on the end of the day. So maybe you could be a buyer versus 350 for it to go from down 6 to up 4, and boom, you just made a few $1,000s on a Monday before Christmas Eve. Could happen. I'm going to probably try it and look at it. But then again, like with the last thought is, what stock could cost you money and be very, very stressful? Mister. So maybe this week, again, you don't want to play the most stressful stock out there just in case it doesn't go your way. Vuzi has a similar as a Lucid and a BB. All right, Mr. Moore, I'll check that out. Someone showed me this the other day, and I didn't buy it a week or two ago. Yeah, it does. I remember this name from back in 2021. Here is when it started. This was your day one, big day two, day three. Got a little extended, and it's been above the 8 days since. And they came after it on Friday. So yeah, if you're in this, and you're massaging the trade, congratulations. That's how a new sequence starts. So the same thing started with BB. It woke up here. I remember playing it into that, and I bought the dip, made a higher, bought the dip, and boom. So right here, this kind of started the active sequence to continue. So an active sequence is starting. If that's something you want to stay with and you want to measure, sometimes it works out well. And BB definitely working out well. Boozy working out well. If you sold it into this topping tail, you had the luxury of buying back versus a level. Lucid working out well. I'll tell you what's not working out well is this CELH. What a pain in the ass this stock is. So anyway, I do have options on. I don't have the stock, and we'll see if if it finally gives you a real wake up candle. So you can go like this now. It's still not at the lows of the year, but it's just too much chatter about how this has to go up, and it hasn't. So, and then everybody's like, yeah, I'm so excited it's going down. I'm like, are you really excited it's going down, or are you trying to play a role here? Anyway, I do have some calls for January and February, and we'll see. But I don't have the stock. I had the stock and I had the calls because it was looking decent in this little spot, and then it failed and I got out of it. So now I'm just in the options, and we'll see how that goes. Not every January effect play works, and some of them need more time than others. Yeah, Oxy helped. It finally had a candle here. I started buying it for the January effect somewhere around here, because it's one of the few positions that Buffett hasn't been selling. He's been actually buying. So I have some of these little ones for the January effect, and I have some energy names. Energy is the worst sector. So what happens is the worst sectors get sold because people are like, I just got to take some losses, so I don't have to pay taxes in January on the strong sectors. And then once that song dries up, typically they lift. And the news that Buffett added to it helped, and that's why it had a green candle finally. And that's why I'm in stock also, because, hey, maybe it acted a little different. So besides just being in options, I'm in stock also. What's it doing this morning? Hey, up $1.45 for the crew. That's in my swing count, so I didn't see that I was up there. But I did buy that too, so that's cool. Is it nice? Anyway, 6:53. I'm already over my time frame. I appreciate you guys. I'm pretty proud of you guys for 4 hours in town. Yeah, short sellers finally got paid, Massini. So, again, so many. I just went over like BlackBerry, Lucid, and Boozy, little guys, growth guys, then Oxy. Then you have these short plays. These guys wound up making a few $1 million on this, but I couldn't do it. This FTEL, I was telling you guys, for a while since here that this thing was a sham. But if you all you did is worry about whether this was going to go 100 before it went to 5, it was tough. And then finally it had its last hurrah where they halted it a few times, and now it's at $5. And if you were able to stay the course, congratulations. I just tried to make sure you guys all knew it was a farce and don't get caught long, because this chart looked pretty good. If this was like Apple or something, I'd be like, wow, look at this chart. It's going sideways. It's woken up. And then they last bait in it for that. Same thing happened with like this. There were a bunch of these things that, wound up looking like they were ready to go, and they squeezed the hell out of the shorts, and they're scams. Like, these Chinese companies should not be able to do scams like this. Where's the SEC? But anyway, I have guys that do it for a living, so every now and then I'll at least tell you, hey, if you're going to be trading along, just be careful, because one of these days it looks like it's, holy cow, what's going on here? It's just a sham. And if you can make money sitting there and paying the interest charges and this and that, congratulations. Yeah, I think, Dog G, I do think it is, to be honest. Not telling you to do it, but I think that this stock, according to some of my friends that short things, which is not my game. I like to be long. I like to find momentum names. I play Amazon, Meta, and this. But again, I know people from around the world, and everyone tells me what they do, and they think this is the next one that could be $5. But again, to risk, risk is reward. So we'll see. Red Dog, when will you share your 2025? We're working on that this week, the 2025 outlook. Yeah, COP is kind of like probably like an Oxy Val. So this one too. So if you want an energy name that some people think is a really, really strong company, like I know there's a few funds out in Puerto Rico that love this and think obviously it's just in a bad trend. It's a bad sector. So they're positioning into the first quarter of next year. So take a look at VAL. I think it's worth a look. And with that being said, I can't believe I'm over my time on a holiday week. Anyway, I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a great year. Hopefully, you're in a good frame of mind. And again, don't put yourself in a position to give too much back. And if you can make some money this week while you're here, I'm going to be in and out. I'm going to try and be in and out. I have to be out at 11 o'clock today. I'm going to be in, though, every day, framing the day and what some thoughts are for you, for T3 and the Alpha team. But I do this for you guys, which hopefully at some point, anyway, we'll talk about it later. Merry Christmas, little Kipster. All right. I'll see you guys later. Good luck today.